Second, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's right.
Oh. So Fury Elements application. Oh. So let's talk about how front end will work. So you have your backend. Okay. You created a CDS. Based on CDS, you added behavior. Added behavior. In our case, the CRUD operation. Then you have projection, service definition,
Definition.
and service
Binding.
binding. At the end, you will get O data
Service.
V4 service with UI metadata. This is important. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, front end doesn't care about all these things. Okay.
Okay.
You can create whatever service you can create. At the end, it requires OData V4
Mhm.
service. Okay. So OData V4 service is okay. It's getting your data. Okay. With
Mhm.
UI metadata. That's what you want. Okay. What is UI metadata? I will tell you in a second. So this is all about backend. You are very versed, right? Means you have the logic ABAP code, you create a table, CDS, all these details, you create some business logic, you create entries and you expose that entries to outside world. Okay. Now we are going to the front end world. Okay. Earlier, front end used to be in GUI. Backend has to be GUI. There's no front end backend separation. Everything is in GUI only. Okay. When you go out of that and you create a browser like app, right? Front end comes with three basic things like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. HTML is how your browser renders the web page. Okay. CSS is adding styling to that one. JS is like JavaScript library for adding functions. Okay. Only JavaScript runs on web page. So whenever you have a web browser, right? Let me open one. Okay. Whenever you use a web browser like that, JavaScript runs here. No other program language runs here. It's under Google Chrome's runtime. So if you go to F12, F12 is your console. Okay, for Google Chrome. So here you can see JavaScript. You can
Yes, sir.
say console. This is JavaScript. Okay, it's a scripting, what to say, lightweight language. Weird. You can see the value here. Okay, so
Console.
here if I put uh, I will tell you this one later. Okay, right now it's so here window is the home object. Okay, everything comes from the window.
Okay, sir.
Document object model, they will say. If you see here, but that's too much technical. You don't know how to know right now. So it used to be the case. Okay, so writing code with HTML, CSS, JavaScript is pain. Okay, you cannot write thousands and lot more of code. Okay, so what similarly, right, in ABAP you create CDS. There's for example, you created a wrap layer, so you created a managed service, right? So all the underlying code is written by managed by SAP framework. Okay, so wrap is a framework who which abstracts or hides all the implementation details. Okay, so you don't worry about, you just write this logic, the framework will handle the rest of the code. Okay, that's the idea, to create the OData service. Similarly, we have certain frameworks here also, front end also. Okay, the main framework is UFI library. Okay, UFI library is a JavaScript library. Not only JavaScript, it has HTML, CSS, JS, everything. Okay,
Mhm.
it comprises of that. It has all the class and methods uh, for us to use. mm, so that we can create front-end apps. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, if you go to your bash in your file, you can see like service the controller scripts. So that will work. Let me show you. the UFI library in detail. You will understand this only once you go further. Let me close this one. So Open UFI is open source one. This we don't want to check. SAP UFI is the proprietary one. Okay. So here you can see the SDK. So this is your, if you want to write front end code, you have to go here. Okay. And
Okay.
you have, if you're interested, you can go and see the samples, like how input will work. Input is a button, right? For
Mhm.
example, you can see list report. Let me go to very basic input, right? Label inputs. So you can see this is a label input box, okay? And here is a label, the name of the field, okay? And if you go to the code, you can see the code. So here you can see XML file and manifest file. They are not using JavaScript as of now because they are using XML library, okay? You can see here MVC, okay? MVC means model view controller, okay? It is a design pattern. I will tell you about this in brief, not right now. We will revisit this later, okay? MVC. You would have heard that in ABAP also, in module pool also, we sometimes use MVC pattern, but you can ignore that for now. Okay, so this is how it works. For example, message pop over. I will click a button, get an error. See, all the error messages coming, right? This is coming from the code. You see the code, you have controller JS. So this is the JavaScript code. And here you can see these are the frame means classes I'm getting fetching in AFI define. Okay. If you go to the API reference, you will see all these class. Okay. For example, you have UI, MDC. These are latest concept chart. You can see what is the method it has. Okay, JavaScript method delegate. Okay. So earlier when UEFI came, people created OData service. There are front-end developers separately. Okay. What they will do, they will get this OData service and the metadata data, and they'll create a front-end code separately to create Fury apps. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. That's the idea. Now you need separate for your front-end developer for this one because ABAP will not work, right? You need a JavaScript library. Then came Fury elements. Okay. So you have a UFI library which comprises this one, it solves the code. So front end is based on model view control. This is MVC is nothing but model view
Controller.
controller. It's a common design pattern used in SAP apps. Okay, most of the even WebDim Pro uses the same thing. So models where your data will come. Here model is OData. Okay, view is your view logic. For example, if I go to samples and if you go to demo, shopping cart, open app. So this is my view, right? So I will check how this is displayed, all this view, right? So let's say this one use the right side, one use is there. This is list report. This is a list page, this table. This is object table, something like that. Okay. So all the view details, if I go back, okay, it's open. Let me close this one. Samples, for example, let me go to farm. Farm we can try. Smart farm. Okay, so this is the farm, and can I click on edit, and I can give some value. You have drop down everything. Okay, and if you see the code, you have XML view. So this is the XML view. View is written in XML. Okay, this is the SAP's pattern. So the why XML, because it differentiate view and controller logic. So model is your data service, view is your XML view, control is your JavaScript library. Okay. Ideally, you don't need this one. If you don't follow this pattern, you can run everything in JavaScript library, UFI library, JavaScript code. Okay. But this is to keep the pattern safe. The pattern gives a lot of tried and tested methods so that it will work fine. Okay. So that's the UFI. For that, you need to learn JavaScript, all these things, SAP specific property things as well, like view modeling and everything. Now it is getting difficult. So what happened? Then came Fury elements. SAP Fury elements. Okay. Now what this does, right? There are certain floor plans and smart what to say smart table. So this is a smart table. If you see, this looks like a list report, right?
Yes, sir.
Your output. So what is it, right? These are uh, pre-rendered. So there's rules. Based on that rules, if you add metadata, like you extend the data, and Fury Elements library can render the data into a certain floor plan.
Okay.
Okay. Fury Elements. Now that's another website. This is for UFI. I'm showing. Fury Elements is
Mhm.
separate. If I
Okay.
go to Fury design, Fury Elements. Okay. So here we have Fury Elements, and you can see supported floor plans and everything. Getting started, overview. You can go to this all these details later. Okay. Now
Okay, sir.
it has given certain floor plans. Okay. Let me go and list report. This is a one floor plan. Okay. Then we have object plate. This is another floor plan. These are analytical page. This is also good floor plan for dashboarding, for dashboard kind of usage. You can see here. This is Fury development portal. Okay. So see how cool this one. It has dynamic filter, everything. You
Yes.
have analytical aggregation happening, everything happening here. Okay. So these are the floor plans here. Standard floor plans we are seeing, right? List report page, analytical page, object page. Most of the time, we'll use a list report with object page. Okay, the one you did now, right? Is this one. So you have a standard filter top, and you have the list of reports like ALV report. And as soon as you click, you could navigate to the details section. Okay, most of the time, most of the requirement fit into this one. Okay. And you
Okay.
can see how this is developed. You can have cap method also, wrap method also, or you can create UFA also. You get the point, right? So right now, because of this one, so you can go to the other floor plans also later. And because of this, what happens? You don't have to write a front end code. Okay. What you
Okay.
have to do, you will use this OData service. I will remove this one, and you will enhance this metadata. Okay. Once you this metadata tells this library how to work.
Okay.
Okay. You still can extend and add logic which is not covered by the floor plan elements. Okay.
Okay.
Getting my point? So that's the
Yes,
idea.
sir. Understood.
Mm. So where this all sit, so this is all code, just front end code, right? Okay. Let me give you one more. Save this one as downloads. Uh, what's this one? PTP KT, something like that. Okay.
Okay.
We'll use this one. Okay. I just cancel. I'm not showing anything is neat. Okay. So you have to go back client server architecture. Okay. Client and server. What are these two? Are you aware of what is client server?
Yes, sir. And I mean,
Uh,
client will send the request from
mm,
server. He will get data.
okay. So basic understanding you have.
Yes.
So for example, right now you are working on your BTP, right? So
Yes.
BTP is in a server, and you are sitting on a machine, right? Your laptop, that is a client.
Yes.
You send your laptop sends a request, and your BTP server uh, gives this web pages and everything. Okay, that's the idea.
Mhm.
Now, in terms of SAP, how this will work. So SAP traditional access order, ECC and everything is hosted on your customer's landscape. Okay. And with the advent of Fury, there are two options SAP we can do. Embedded deployment and hub deployment. Okay. So how that is, as I said, your backend is different, your front end is different, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's say your system is there. In the S4 HANA, you have a system like development dev. Okay.
Mm.
D0 you can put to vegetable to make like this is your development system. Okay. In development system, you have one server. Okay.
Okay.
One server which host both backend and front end. Okay. This is called hub deployment. Sorry, embedded deployment. We embed both front end code and back end code in your server. Okay. So your system will have both front end back end logic. But there's one more thing, like you can see D0 and UE0. Two systems will be there. Two servers will be
Okay.
there. Okay. And UE0 is UI, Fury, and IAM, authorization, security, all these things will come here. Okay.
Okay.
And backend D is your application server. Okay. So this is SAP's recommended method, but SAP customers will go to embedded only because it's cost effective. You don't need two servers, right? Maintenance is a headache, all these things.
Mm.
So that's the
Yes.
gist of it. Now, front end server, back end server. Okay. So even though in embedded system we have something like that, your front end code will be in one server. You have to go to one server and host that one. Your backend code will be in your server host. Okay. Both will be in server. How it will be packaged? Backend code, nothing need to be packaged, right? Your ABAP code is as soon as you click on activate, it's ready for to serve,
Yes, sir.
right? You are directly running your code inside the server.
Mm.
So you can see, right? If I go to don't have other thing, but if I go to one of the if you can see your Eclipse, right? You
Yes,
in
sir.
the Eclipse open, you will see the server. Okay, that's the issue. One second. Yeah. Okay. So you are writing directly in the server only. You don't have to build anything. As soon as you activate, the backend code will be ready. So ABAP is no issue. It's easy because as soon as you activate, the code is ready. Okay.
Yeah.
Now front end is not like that. In your BAS, right? You are
Mm.
writing code inside JavaScript. Okay. BAS is your IDE. Okay. You are writing
Okay.
locally inside IDE. It's not connected to any system. Okay.
Mm.
So front end, there's a separate path. So front end, what you have to do, you have to write code locally. Even
Okay.
BAS is locally. Okay. You can see the files. Now build this code. Build means in ABAP, whatever code you write, it will be there. But in front end, you have to build the code. What build does, right? It
Mm.
compresses your code.
Okay.
Okay. And remove unnecessary headaches. It does many of the things, but compressing is the first one. Why? As I said, your front end code, right, is in
Mm.
JavaScript. As soon as you open browser and click on the link, all your code will be sitting inside this browser. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have thousands of lines and if you don't compress the code, the size will be high. If size is high, it will be difficult to open that in the web page.
Yes, sir.
Right? Even few of the elements you can see it's heavyweight. It's not
Okay.
lighting fast. Okay. So that's the
Mm.
reason your entire code should go. Okay. Now you built the code, but you want to serve this code, right? Because ABAP is already served. It's by framework. SAP take care
Mm.
of this one. So here you have to somewhere this you are building locally, right? So you have to put this code in the server,
Yes, sir.
right? That is
Mm.
called deployment.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, as soon as you create deployment, it will create as a you can deploy multiple areas, but here let me show. So which environment you write code usually bash. Okay, bash is sitting on top of VS Code, so VS Code also you can use. Okay, VS Code is Visual Studio Code.
Mm.
If you only want this is the Visual Studio Code. I'm working on something else, but this is how it looks. Okay.
Okay.
And
For
similar
deployment.
to bash only. Okay,
Mm.
so you write the code here. Okay, how you which pack, so you use the Fury generator, right?
Yes, sir.
So as soon as you get a generator, all the codes are automatically built. Okay, we use a runtime called Node.js.
Okay.
Okay, so JavaScript essentially used to be a front end code only, right? It is not a
Uh,
server code.
okay.
Node.js, what it will do, it will serve that, it will try to serve it will act as a backend here. Okay. We don't want to confuse that one, but we use Node.js to generate and run the code. Okay.
Yes.
Now build and deployed, we use Fury, SAP Fury file itself will do the build. Um, mm, we have SAP UFI Fury library has all these things. Okay. Then
Okay.
deployment. So deployment also we had to deploy in the ABAP server. In this ABAP server, embedded server or anything, but it's a server, ABAP server will deploy. We will deploy this as a BSP application. Okay.
Okay.
Business service page will say BSP application. We will deploy that. Okay. So you write your code locally, you build your code and deploy that one. Once this is deployed, it will again go back to this deployed code. BSP application it will go. Okay.
Okay.
Now you have front end and back end served. Okay. But you have to activate the OData service because otherwise front end will not get that service, right? So
Mm.
those are the things. So that's the idea. So this is the gist of it. There are a lot of details inside each step, but I'm just giving you an overview step only.
Okay.
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 So right now I should have started the server earlier, but I'm in another system. I'm not in my laptop.
Okay.
So that's the issue. Okay. Okay. Now you got this point, right?
Yes, sir. Understood.
So most of it you understand. So right now, the gist of it, right? You are an ABAP developer. You want to create front end full stack application, okay? And you are
Okay.
going to utilize Fury Elements framework. By this
Mm.
framework, most of the data is you're writing the code in metadata extension. In your C views, you have created metadata extension
Mm.
in your CDS, right?
Yeah.
That CDS extension will say how this rendering will happen in Fury Elements, okay? So you have a bracket and a front end,
Mm.
and both this is the idea. So this concept is the ABAP server, okay? So this is
Okay.
for on-premise system. For BTP, how it works? BTP is simple. Uh, you have in BTP you have ABAP Steampunk, right? ABAP
Yes, sir.
ABAP
Steampunk.
environment or Steampunk. So you ABAP Steampunk is your both front end and back end, okay? Both back end and front end. And back end you actually ABAP code, that is enough. ABAP cloud I will say, okay? Because normal ABAP will not work there. And front end, you'll again it will create a BSP application. Okay.
Okay.
Now locally in S4 HANA world, the IAM is handled differently. IAM. IAM is identity and access management. Okay.
Okay.
This is how you tell which app, which user will get access. Okay.
Okay.
Role based RBA, they say role based authorization. Now in here, you will create something called IAM app. Similar concept, telling that so your app is ready, but you don't want all the users to use the app, right? You will restrict based on authorization and access, and that is done via IAM. it is too much to take this up, okay? But we will consider, we will do everything, okay?
Okay.
So I have created a component here, whatever we've gone through.
Okay.
So you have, okay, let's go before this one. So you got your front end part, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, front end is this one. So your environment. So I'll give a here. I will just put front end IDE. Okay, integrated development environment is your Eclipse with ADT. Okay, and here front end ID is your BAS or VS Code.
Yes, good.
Okay. Now what else is there? Everything else we discussed, right? Okay. Version management. So, version management is your ABAP version management tool. You have this like transport request
Yes, sir.
by TR. Now the 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 another part is I'll go here. Here version management use Git plus GitHub. Okay.
Okay.
Now here you based on TR, right? As soon as you release the TR, a new version will be created. Then you compare to the old version, new version like that.
Yes, sir.
In Git, it's separate topic. Okay, Git is written locally. For BAS, you use Git. Okay, then for collaboration purpose, you push all the version to cloud, and the cloud tool is GitHub.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the basic idea version management.